Hola, freaky people. In this box is one of those watches that I've been drooling over for the greater portion of a year. It is not an expensive watch. It's, let's just say, I guess more cost-friendly. I don't want to say it's a budget watch, but it's definitely a friendlier priced watch. It's an automatic, but it's something I've been looking at and I haven't been able to get my hands on. So, where do we begin? So, I guess customary wrist check. I'm also happy to be wearing... Well, this is a budget watch through and through. This is the Pagani, I don't know what model number it is, but it's basically the homage to the Rolex Explorer 2. It's a GMT watch, automatic. It has a Seiko movement inside. Swapped out the bracelet for this orange NATO strap. This color combination, this watch is probably one of my favorites. I wear this more than my Omega, more than my Breitling, more than my Seikos, just because I like how this feels. I'm actually thinking about giving this watch away for my 500 subscriber giveaway. I've been trying to figure out what to give away, and this one, just I like it so much that while it may not be an expensive one, I'm thinking that this might be the actual watch I do. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. If you'd like to see this be the watch for the 500 subscriber giveaway, I love it. I figured why not share that love with you freaky people. So let's go ahead with this. So real quick, I'm just going to do an unboxing of this. I want to see if this holds up to the fantasies that I've had for the past year. I think it will. It's not much to say about it. So this watch has been out of production, and it's an Orient, so I'll let you know that. This watch has been out of production, and a couple days ago, Orient sent me a text saying that there was going to be a short run. Something makes me think 100 watches. I know that number sounds really low, but maybe that's it. But the short run of this, and so I really hate these styrofoam peanuts, man. And so they basically said, if you want to know when it comes out, then click here and sign up and get notifications, and when it does get released on the 27th, we will send you a link where you will be able to buy it before anybody else. So they had a black, blue, and this one, and this is the one that I've been waiting on. So this is model number SAA0200CW9, so Sierra Alpha Alpha 0200 Charlie Whiskey 9. And yeah, I'm really hoping this holds up to what I think it's going to be. Alright, we'll dump out the box. There we have the first thing to drool over, the Orient presentation box. I wonder why these never quite close. It just seems like they could just maybe expand the box just a hair. I don't know. But yeah, it's a cardboard box, one of those, I don't know what is on this, some kind of plastic upscale cardboard, I guess the best way to put it, with this faux metal panel. Maybe that is real aluminum, I don't know, but this brushed aluminum, Orient logo, and now the star of the show. There it is, baby. Here it is. Can you see that sexy thing? Ah. Yeah. Alright, that is the Orient Mako II. I have joked around on the forums, on the budget watch forums, with guys who put this on there, and I've said, hey, look, whoever posts one of them just needs to be banned from the channel, or from the page. They shouldn't be allowed to continue, because I think this is one of those watches that everybody wants, nobody can get their hands on, and yeah, it just from a distance, it just looks like a sexy, sexy little watch. So let me get the plastic off of here. Wow, that's a lot of freaking plastic. Alright, so there she is. A little bit up close. Very gorgeous little watch. Alright, let me set the time real quick. Screw down crown. Kind of weird. When you unscrew it, you can actually feel it grinding a little bit. Alright, so the watch has been set. Let me screw the crown back down. Give it a little bit of windage. It's a very tight crown. Play with the bezel. Wow. Man. That's a bit interesting. Not really liking that bezel. I mean, I guess it works, but it's a first impression. Alright, let's continue. Throw it on the 7 3/4 inch cankle wrist. Again, just out of the box, has not been sized. There you have a close-up on wrist. Let me polish it up a little bit. So the Orient Mako II. So let's give it a quick once over and talk about the specs. What I know about it. All right, so let's look at the body of it first. So I've set it up as far as setting the time, and first impressions, I can tell you that it's got a few issues, or at least not issues, but it's definitely not the quality I'd expected. But let's talk about it. So the crown itself does have a good feel while you're setting it. So connecting, you can feel the gears while you're winding, while you're connecting to the minutes and hours and the date wheel. So setting that feels accurate, very snappy and responsive, exactly what I thought I would expect. I noticed that while I was winding it, however, it became a bit tight. And so I'm not sure if there's a mechanism side of the Makos to prevent overwinding. Maybe that was it, or maybe it's just a crappy gear mechanism. I'm not totally sure. I'll have to do some research on that. Closing it or screwing the crown down was a bit short, so almost like the threading was very coarse or very small. And so I was kind of surprised by that, but it worked, no issues whatsoever. The bezel is interesting, right? So I understand the deal of you don't want to be able to accidentally set the bezel or bump the bezel while you're diving, right? So you don't want to set it for a safety ascent and then have somebody bump your bezel or you bump your bezel. But I don't know if you can tell, this is taking almost like an act of God to move this bezel. It is loosening a bit, but it's very tight, number one. Number two is it has this gradient or this rounded edge where the insert would be. So I'm not sure what this is, ceramic or whatever, but you have this beveled edge where the bezel is, and then you have this very, very thin lip, which is also rounded. So the two surfaces that your hands would be touching, your fingers would be touching, is rounded and very thin. So there's not a lot of meat to grab a hold of, even just to set it. So while I understand the importance of not bumping it and not messing up that setting, I should at least be able to set it easily without struggling, and that was kind of a fight. Not the experience I had hoped initially, but I'm going to continue. All right, so it's got a screw down case back, has a little sticker there, Orient sticker, and their logo. I'm not sure what that logo is. That's one tough little sticker. It just isn't coming off. I mean, it's just an Orient logo sticker, so I guess their seal of approval. I mean, but it's almost glued on there as if it's like a security sticker, which I doubt that it is, since it's sitting right on an engraved back. But yeah, maybe it is, because as I start trying to take it off, it's self-destructing. So that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to do some searching on that. But there's a sticker on the back. It's got an Orient logo, and any attempt to remove that sticker just causes it to self-destruct. So I'm not going to waste my time on camera. If it isn't supposed to come off, then I can tell you I don't want it there. I'm going to give up on that sticker. So let's continue. So we do have a double locking clasp. It has a security latch and a spring-loaded release mechanism on the clasp, where it is embossed with their logo. It has 3 positions on the micro adjustment. There is no type of quick release on the micro adjust, and there is no tool that comes with it to aid in moving those pins, but they can be moved. There's a total of 3 positions for the micro adjust. Again, not bad. I did, like you saw, I did try this on my fat arm, the 7 3/4 inch cankle wrist, and its default setting gives a pretty nice fit. I might actually just try and shrink that by those 2 positions and see how well that fits. It feels smaller on my wrist than expected. Let me grab one of my other bracelets to compare it to. Alright, so don't know why I said one of. It's the only other one that I have that has a bracelet. I tend to take all my bracelets off and replace them with NATO's. So this is an Omega Seamaster Professional Tokyo 2020 edition. It has its own bracelet, obviously. This is generally what I wear when I do want something that's a bit more dressier, if you will. I don't know why I grabbed this to compare. To compare them side by side. Definitely a case difference. Let's check them out. Let's see what the measurements are. So definitely a difference side by side. Not sure what the dimensions are on the Omega, but I can tell you the Orient itself, the case diameter is 41.5 millimeters in width. The lug to lug is 47 millimeters. Case thickness, that's actually not too bad if you look at the profiles of them. The case thickness on the Orient is a whopping 13 millimeters, so that's pretty small. That's a very subtle sit on the wrist. Even sideways, looking at the arm's length, it sits nice on your wrist. Again, screw down crown, stainless steel, bezel 120 click, steel bracelet. Clasp is listed as a fold over with double push button with safety. 22 millimeter lug width. Comes with a 1-year warranty from Orient. Of course, we have a sapphire crystal, day-date, luminous hour markers and hands. Now we're down here in South Florida on the water, and it is a, kind of feel guilty. Everybody up north where we came from, they're getting beat by this blizzard storm Bobby, and we're down here in the sun, about to go for a walk, do quick 3 miles, and we're gonna have to wear sunscreen. So yeah, it's the loom itself, even in the daytime, even in daylight, that's actually got a pretty decent loom. I'm not gonna do a loom shot here. I do plan on doing some kind of review on these watches instead of just unboxing them and drooling over them together. My goal was to get some wrist time on each one of them so that I can give you kind of an honest layman's review. What do I think about it? How do I enjoy wearing it? This Orient will probably not stay on this bracelet. I'm more partial to NATOs and to other style straps, even rubber straps. I've got a few ideas of what I would like to do with this white on black face. But yeah, overall, my first impressions are very good. I'm happy to grab one of these. It is, again, the Orient Mako II. Yeah, so what can I say? First impressions. Well, it's not an Omega. It's not a luxury watch. It is a budget watch. It does not feel to be the same quality as a Seiko. It's kind of a weird anomaly buying them in and of itself. So again, I do gravitate towards Seiko 5, and there's a couple luxury watches that I like. Where does this sit? This sits more on the budget side of the fence. So and I guess the reason why you hear the hesitation in my voice is because it wasn't inexpensive. This was $324. So for that amount of money, I could have bought a Seiko 5. I think I got a better deal with this Mako. So it's a caliber F6922. Know nothing about the caliber, but overall, I'd say this is it's on par. If I had to compare my first impressions with this and a Seiko 5, I would say it's on par. Let me grab a Seiko 5. So here we have a Seiko 5. This is the 140th anniversary. If I were to look at my Seikos, again, this isn't the Pro Specs, but this is one of my favorites. It has that same lighter face, the blue accents. It's one of those fun watches, right? But there are some things about it that just blow my mind. Like, I hate the fact this doesn't have a screw-down crown. This watch cost about the same as this watch, or I think the suggested retail is about the same. Now, I did pay a bit more for this because when I bought it, I had to buy it in London, and so the exchange rate and all the good stuff, I did pay a couple extra dollars for the Seiko 5. But for that same basic price point, I gotta be honest, I like the Seiko 5 movements better. I like the Seiko 5 quality better. What I like about the Mako more is the fact that it does have that screw-down crown. It is a 200-meter water-resistant watch, so it's interesting. So on one hand, I've got a better water rating, and I have really a watch that I have been salivating over, so I've got that. On the other hand, I like the quality, the fit and finish of a Seiko 5 better than I don't want to say the equivalent, but a similarly priced Orient. Not saying it's a bad watch. It is one that I've been looking for, and I'm happy to have it, but it is, like I said, it's kind of in that same range. Which one would I buy? I gotta be honest, I still love Seiko, and I will still gravitate towards Seiko every time. Orient, the ones that I feel they do better are things like the Bambino. I'm not saying I don't like this watch. I do love this watch, and like I said, I've been looking at it for a while. So what am I going to do? I am going to wear this bad boy. I am going to find a NATO that I like for it, and I am going to use this for the sporty watch that I think it is intended to be. And then I'll get some mileage on it, and I'll come back and do a review. Now, real quick, before we wrap up, if you're still watching, which based on my numbers, you are not, I do want to talk about the upcoming 500 subscriber giveaway. So I am currently at 459 subscribers. And as you know, every time that first number changes, whether it be from 100 to 200, 200 to 300, or from 1,000 to 2,000, I plan on doing some type of giveaway. As the numbers get bigger, I'll make that giveaway bigger. I'm thinking about this Pagani as the 500 subscriber giveaway, and again, the reason why is because this happens to be one of these watches that I just love. I like the style of it. I like how it looks. I tend to gravitate towards things that are orange. My running sneakers are orange, and I like this one so much that I just recently sent one of these to a friend who is the guy that got me turned on to this brand, Chris Murray's. He has the Murray on Time channel. If you haven't subscribed to him, I'll leave a link. Go and check him out. But it's one of those watches where you just can't help but share it, and I think that's one of the things I love about this little hobby, is being able to share that watch. So again, if you're interested, let me know, and if I get enough thumbs up or whatever the heck we're going to say, maybe I'll make that be the 100th or the 500th watch giveaway. All right, wow. So I don't know what you heard. I don't want to have to cut out on that. Some moron was driving by with a race car. But yeah, Pagani Explorer, or the Pagani Homage, the Pagani, what is it? How would you say it? The Pagani Explorer Homage? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Love this watch. Thinking about sharing it. That's what I like about this whole hobby, is being able to share these things. That's why I give so many of these freaking things away. But again, that's not why we're here. We're here for the start of the show, the Orient Mako II in white. Again, I guess what this has taught us is sign up to Orient, or whoever has a watch, sign up for their notifications. This was a surprise. I didn't expect them to re-release it, but when they did, I jumped on and grabbed one. I'm going to swap this out for a NATO, put some miles on it, and then I'll come back and tell you what I think of it. So that's about it. So yeah, we have Seiko 5, Orient Mako, Omega, and Pagani. But here's the start of the show. So again, if you're not a member, click like, subscribe, comment below, and who knows, when I do the 500 subscriber giveaway, you might have one of those watches on your wrist. Thanks a bunch.